Welcome to the Positively Star Wars Senate podcast. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi. May the Force be with you.
Looky, Senator. Decent Jedi arriving.
Let's make this our best show ever.
I will sign no treaty, Senator.
I am the Senate.
This is the way.
Alright, okay, so let's get going, folks. And welcome everyone to the December 2021 episode of the Positively Star Wars Senate podcast. The home of uplifting, fun, enthusiastic discussion as we talk all things Star Wars and we talk about it all from a positive aspect. There's no drama, there's no politics in here. And as ever, if you like what you hear today and you listen on the podcast and stuff or on YouTube, wherever it is, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave a review and stuff. It apparently all helps. Tell your friends, tell the people you don't like as well, spread the word. And remember that we are at various places on the internet, of which I can never remember, but Ricky can. We're on Facebook.
We're at Facebook. We have a Facebook group, the Positive Star Wars Facebook group. On Twitter, we're at PSW Senate. Please don't yell at me. On Instagram, we're at PSW Senate Podcast. And, if you want to email
Twitter?
us, it's positively@starwarssenate@gmail.com. Yeah, Twitter, we're at PSW Senate, which I've been pretty active on Twitter. I kind of took the last couple of weeks off, but it's just been fun talking to people on there and, trying to be positive and not get dragged into any kind of debates on there.
So easy to be dragged into Sarlacc pit.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, if you just search Positively Star Wars on your favorite social media platform, notice it's not TikTok.
We do have a TikTok.
You'll find us.
There's one video on there.
Yes. So I am Stephen, the obligatory Brit on this podcast, and also the Chancellor of the Senate, as I'm often known. And I'm joined this month by 4 other people from across the great expanse of America. We have Ron.
Greetings and salutations, fellow senators.
Very good. We have Ricky.
Hello.
We have Ryan.
Hi, everybody.
And we have Marie.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, excellent. And we're all here, one big happy family as always. And we've got a bit of a loose agenda here in a sort of end of year kind of podcast, in that last month, we didn't look at the Book of Boba Fett trainers apparently, so we will have a look through them and have a brief discussion. We'll have a quick little discussion on Star Wars at Christmas because it is pretty much Christmas. So we're having a little talk about favourite Christmases in the past with Star Wars and some of our favourite Christmas Star Wars-y decorations, of which I have none and I still need to get some. And then if we've still got time, we haven't exhausted ourselves by then, we will have some of our questions about Star Wars that we've been dying to get some answers from each other, that is, not from the web, because that could go crazy, but just ask each other for some answers to things that have been bothering us, perhaps, or just troubling us a little bit lately. But fun questions, not anything too serious. So, as ever, we start off each episode going around the table to see what everybody's been up to in Star Wars land since last month. And so this month it starts with Ron.
Hello, hey Stephen. My daily instance in Star Wars this past month was probably light, although it's December, so I assume everyone here today in the Senate, started my Advent calendar, right? So I got the Lego Star Wars Advent calendar, and that's always a fun little treat each day to open that up. There was an odd ship on day 2 that I had to go look up to see what it was. Sometimes they put some just totally made up random things, because I think the next day I think was a weird sort of Lego type of gun thing or something that shoots a projectile, which is interesting, but I don't think it's actually Star Wars. But the ship ended up being the day 2 ship ended up being like this weird bounty hunter. It was the guy that the Mando destroyed. So anyway, that was fun. And then I picked up, I'm going to put a picture of it in the chat. I picked up a Lego figure, a small little toy show that happens local to me. And I was kind of confused. I didn't think Lego was allowed to sell just individual figures, that if they were going to sell a figure, it was always on a keychain, or it was always on a pen or something like that. That they couldn't just sell the individual figures from a licensing deal or something, whatever was in the terminology with Hasbro or whatever. But I was very surprised and picked up a bagged small little Han Solo minifig by himself. So I'm going to throw that in the chat as something out there. But that's really all I have for the past month.
Yeah, I've seen Disney ones like that, where they just have, like, you know, a blind bag of Lego, like, figures that are like Mickey or Minnie or something like that. I've never seen Star Wars ones, so that's cool.
Yeah, I was very surprised to see it. The guy was obviously a Lego deal or whatever, because that's what his booth was all about. So I was asking him about it. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, they can sell them." I'm like, "I know they can license them, and I know they sell them in the kits. Obviously, I thought that was the only way you could truly collect the figures, if you were interested or whatever. But this is a legit bagged figure of a Han Solo Hoth outfit, which does have a question. He's holding something that I'm not quite sure a bag. I'm not quite sure what it is he's holding, but anyway. So yep, I'm gonna.
What's this at the back of a store? What's this chap wearing sunglasses and a hat and maybe a cloak and stuff? I mean, yeah.
Get a bunch of watches too.
Yes.
This is a legit toy show. Bunch of tables with Hot Wheels, bunch of tables with Pops, Funko, and then, you know, everyone random other things, whatever. And this guy had this bagged minifig. I was really puzzled by it. So I picked it up merely to sort of research it and find out more about it, because I did not think they could sell them individually. Surprisingly, they can.
Yeah, I always thought it was just custom individual figures. I haven't seen it like that either.
I don't remember him wearing like a Indiana Jones scarf. That's weird.
And I've seen the knockoff Lego guy that's got like just trays and trays of minifigs. The first time I saw him, I'm like, oh wow, that's awesome. And then I realized it's like apparently it's like a Chinese knockoff kind of thing. Not yet.
That's his helmet. That's his hoodie thing. He's holding
his hood.
Yeah, when he rides the Tauntaun.
Oh, so it's not facing open like
it's a winter hood.
So,
his head goes in that hole. Yeah.
Obviously, his head goes in the hole, and then the opening, you can't really see the opening because it's facing sides. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna do some research and try to find out about that and see what I can.
Wasn't he wearing blue on Hoth?
Oh, that's a hotly debated back and forth kind of thing, right?
Or is it blue? Is it blue or is it gray?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of blind, I think. I feel like I am, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't brown. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure the blue people say the same thing. they're very confident that what they saw is blue. So yeah, I don't know that I've ever gone back and forth about it. But then I'll admit, I don't think I knew 3PO had a silver bottom half of his leg for 10, 20, 15 years. I don't know how long it took me before I saw a figure with that. I'm like, why is it like that? And then
I don't think they used to make the figures like that, did they?
Well, that's probably what that's exactly what reinforced it, Ricky. Yeah, I don't think the original 3PO 77 3PO had that. He was all gold or whatever. And then, you know, eventually they start doing that, and it's kind of hard to notice in the movie, but apparently it's there. So yeah,
has that ever been explained?
I'm not one for.
We've got a nice backstory for the red arm. But
no, wasn't it?
I didn't know the leg, did we?
In universe, I don't know, but I mean, I think you'd like kind of assume because Anakin built him now, but wasn't it because Anthony Daniels, like, he broke the costume while they were filming and it like jabbed him in the leg, and so they had to just mock up one real quick and throw it on there.
Wow, that's a good thing. Yeah. I've never heard the story.
I think it was on one of the behind the scenes things or something.
I thought the kayfabe reason, again, this might have just been a storyboard, you know, a discussion board thing from years ago, but I thought it was the in-universe kayfabe reason is like he had a bomb in his leg and they swapped it out, much like he has a reason for the red arm. It was melted and he had to swap it out with someone who sacrificed their life. Well, something with the bomb is the same reason. So I'm not
never
sure
heard that one either.
Didn't know 3PO was in the Hurt Locker.
And again, it might have only been a discussion board from like a decade ago or something, so I'm not sure.
I could see the in-universe thing, George wanting to say, no, he's a droid, and that part's been swapped out, and they're interchangeable or something like that. I can definitely see George making that a purposeful thing.
Kind of like a car, and I can fender a different color.
Yeah, definitely could see George doing that to 3PO. But then I could also see the story of something broke, like you say, or whatever the Anthony Daniels part of the story was, and they just had to have a mock-up, and they had that and vacuum formed out in the desert, but it wasn't gold, so they're just like, oh yeah, throw that on. I could see George doing that. Oh yeah, throw that on there. Make
him look damaged.
He got a new fender. Yeah, like Ricky said, your car make him look damaged. It could very well be a combination of those two things.
Got a plastic hubcap on.
Okay. Anything else, Ron?
Nope. That's all I got for us.
Very good. Okay, Ricky.
Let's see. Oh, we did finish our long marathon finally. We got to Rise of Skywalker. So we're completely done now. And then we followed that up with so that was pretty good. Well, we watching everything, but now I feel like we got to start over. But no, instead we watched the holiday special. So that was we watched that on Monday night. So that was fun. We only planned on watching 15 minutes of it, but we ended up watching the entire thing. But we fast forwarded the performances. So.
Come on.
Yeah, I wasn't really into the Jefferson Starship.
Got to take it all. Yeah, was that one when the grandpa falls asleep?
Yeah.
That
part.
Dear.
Yeah. It's funny though watching it again. This for some reason this year I kind of got the jokes more. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older and getting kind of I don't know. It's very
70s. It has to be said. I kind of like that.
I mean, we both agreed that it was terrible when we were watching it. Yeah. But we did that, and then what else happened? Picked up some stuff. I got it looks like the Walmart's restocked because I found Mandalorian it's like the Carbon series or something like that. But they had the armor and they had Moff Gideon, so I picked up the armor. I was gonna get both of them, but they're like $20 a pop, and they're not even Black Series. So, but they are 3 3/4 inch, so they do fit with the collection I have. And then what else did I get? I got some little Grogu glasses, and then I got a nice Obi-Wan glass. My wife picked me up some stuff, and I got a Flame Trooper. Those Galaxy of Adventure set of toys. They're like a little bigger, the figures. I got a couple of those. Got another Finn and then Flame Trooper. So, but yeah, just been trying to look around and see if there's anything on clearance to pick up, and it's been pretty good. But,
Ricky, I can confirm that there must be, because if you're far, far away from me or whatever. So yeah, the distribution channel or whatever's going on, because I have seen those. They were the carbonized version, and the Moff Gideon and the Armorer in Walmart. And like you said, for 3 3/4 figure, they were I think they were $25.
Yeah, they were
they were ridiculous. But I think that was that whole carbonized. There was a carbonized craze that was Walmart. So I think that is a price premium just because of that carbonized.
Which I didn't even care about that. I just wanted the figure because I don't have any Mandalorian figures.
Yeah. Haven't seen much of anything trickle for the longest time, and that's a weird thing to be trickling out. I really suspect a lot of that stuff is stashed somewhere or stuck somewhere and is going to flood the market or not going to flood the market because it's not going to be timely. It's not going to be. And it's going to end up in the clearance stores.
I do think they are like kind of finding stuff in their storage rooms.
Yeah,
because there was a set of I don't know if you remember the little octagon disc that they were selling for a while at Walmart. I think if you bought
I know
Force Awakens there at Walmart. It came with them. Yeah, they had like a set that had like Ahsoka and some of the other characters from Force Awakens. I'm like, wow,
that's somebody clearing the back stock big time. Really, wow. Yeah. They came with, or you could get some special ones with a like a birthday card or whatever. But then they had blind packs, and they had ones that you could see what you were looking for.
It was one of those.
Yeah, that was a whole. I remember collecting those or and never saw anything much out of them, kind of thing. That's interesting that you saw those for sale in your local Walmart. That's amazing. Yeah, somebody's really clearing the back, finding stuff on that back shelf that got fell behind something or something. It's like, oh, what's this? We should sell it. It's amazing. It's still in the system, with a SKU or a barcode to even sell.
Yeah, and I even scanned it to see how much it was because it was on a peg that said $30. I'm like, that can't be right. And it was like,
did it scan? Did it come up with a price?
Yeah, it was like $6.
Yeah.
So, I have some of them, but I don't.
I got way too many of those things.
Yeah, I was like, well, it's just gonna sit in the stack with the other one, so I didn't grab it. But yeah, that's pretty much been it.
Okie dokie. We move on to Ryan.
All right, so I think I got a pretty decent list of things I've been Star Warsing this month. So, and each one might kind of be a discussion. So the last couple of days, I just randomly decided to rewatch Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. And I got to say, the Force Awakens was much, much better than I've been kind of giving it credit for over the past 6 months to a year. I've always enjoyed it. It's always been good. I don't rank it in my bottom half at all. But I rewatched it, and it's just, because I was watching Empire Strikes Back with my wife. We started watching that, and I quickly realized that me telling backstories on everything, because every time I read the From a Certain Point of View books, I turn around and I go watch the movies with my wife, and I'm like, this is why Will Hood has the case, and this is why, this character's doing this, and this is where this space alien is. And I realized it puts her to sleep very well. So she's like, I enjoy your stories so much. So as she fell asleep while watching Empire Strikes Back, I was like, well, I'm going to watch Force Awakens. And it was amazing. Like the acting, I thought it was, just watching again, I'm like, man, this is a perfect setup movie. While the story is repetitive, a giant planet that blows things up. We've seen that before. It's repetitive, but the mysteries, the story, the setup, I mean, it just felt like such a perfect setup for a trilogy. So I'm giving another shout out to Force Awakens. It still stays firmly kind of in my middle of the class, but I very much enjoyed it. The reveal for Kylo Ren's face is perfect. Like, he doesn't have to be some mongoloid. He's just a very good looking man. And, and it's just like, oh, I'm going to reveal it. And Rey's like, oh, hey, what's up? So again, much shout out to Force Awakens. Last Jedi rewatched.
Lots of nonstop action in that movie too.
The Force Awakens. How many times had you seen it when it was released in the theater? That you're revisiting it.
How many? Oh, released in theaters. I've probably seen that twice, and Last Jedi 3 times.
And so the Force Awakens that you're revisiting and
theaters.
finding a bit of an appreciation for, whatever. So have you not seen it since the theater, or at least seen it once, maybe in between there, right?
Oh no, I usually watch it once a year or whatever.
Okay,
so,
okay.
It's
interesting to see the progression and see the appreciation growing over time. That's fascinating.
I definitely have not watched it since Rise of Skywalker. So it's been a couple years since I watched it.
So
I'm well aware of. I knew all the story points, but then I'm watching like, man, it's just such a perfect creation for it. And then to be followed up by The Last Jedi, which again is one of my top Star Wars movies. I loved it. From the beginning to the end, like the character growth is like bar none for Kylo. That's really the whole support for The Last Jedi is Kylo and his growth. And I'm a huge Adam Driver fan because of it. So it's like we had a lot of fun watching that. I'm going to eventually start The Rise of Skywalker, but this is just the last 2 days. I'm like, let's go ahead and watch these. So that was a lot of fun. Continuing with the watch list, I actually started watching The Hidden Fortress, George Lucas's inspiration for Star Wars. And man, I just got to say, I am so happy I did not grow up in that era. That movie is straight trash. So, I'll say positive. It was not my cup of tea. So
I'm slowly going through it. Watching it like 20 minutes at a time. But it's pretty long, and I don't really know where it's going. So,
it's on HBO Max. So,
Okay.
And again, it's probably just realistically just outside of my era. I need much more story, and I have a very short attention span at times, so it's just, I'm not saying it's bad or its influence isn't there, but like I try watching it and I'm just like, oh my god.
So when you say that, is it not so much that it's not bad? It's just very much a sign of its era, a product of its era in terms of the style, the storytelling, the filmmaking, and everything. It's right. It's just by today's standards, I think you can warrant the bad label, but probably in what was then, it's just a sign of its times. I think it's been forever. That's why I was asking how you're watching or whatever. It's been ever since I've seen it, so I need to rewatch it.
I don't think I've ever watched it.
Yeah,
it's not a big surprise to anybody here, of course.
It's a lot of shouting and over the top
story's
reactions.
The story's weird and silly. So
what's it?
Just weird story aspects.
Yeah, I just have to Google to see. I don't think I've seen it. I can't even visualize what it looks like.
Yeah, basically it's like it's black and white. It's like two peasant guys, and for some reason they're walking around in diapers.
But very, very loosely, whatever. That's the two guys trying to protect a princess type of thing. There was very much an inspiration. I mean, it's definitely worth watching from a appreciation of Lucas and his influences and everything.
I'm just watching it like as homework. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I watched like 10 minutes of the thing, and it was kind of like, this isn't really for me. But
yeah, you're not watching for entertainment.
Wow, I'm just seeing
it's 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there.
Yeah.
So.
I've just seen some images from it now. Yeah, I see what you mean. It's very 50s.
Is it odd that I didn't finish watching that, but I did watch the entire holiday special?
Yeah, your behaviors of what you watch are here definitely going to qualify as odd.
Ron, like you're asking, it's on HBO. So.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max.
It looks a bit comedy.
It's supposed to be, yeah, I guess, because like the guys bicker with each other and
nobody gets very serious in it. It reminds me of Monkey. What is it? Monkeys? Is that? There's that show in the 80s and so, wasn't there?
Monkeys?
Not the monkeys. There was a I can't remember what it's called now. It's some Japanese American kind of monk. They had the word monkey in it, but I can't remember. Yeah, no, I've never seen it. But I tell you what, seeing the poster of it reminds me very much of Star Wars Visions and the Ronin.
That was heavily
the influence was there too. So again, you're not sitting down to watch it and going, oh, let's watch a movie or whatever, and be entertained. It's more like someone said, it's more a bit of homework, just as a Star Wars fan.
Yeah. So I'm glad George was influenced by it to give me, the Star Wars universe, which now
to put his polish on
to do nothing. Yeah. So I'm glad, whether people whine or complain that he stole stories from this or that or ideas, it doesn't matter. All ideas come from somewhere at some point. But we got Star Wars out of it. Cool. I'm probably never going to finish watching Hidden Fortress. It's just
you'd probably like American Graffiti better
than. You
than
don't know how it ends.
Fortress. No, I'm not.
I actually don't want to be spoiled by it. Yeah. Actually, I don't want to be spoiled by it.
You're okay going through life not knowing how Hidden Fortress ends. I got it.
They blew up the
Death Star. Now I feel like I should watch it.
They blew up the Death Star.
Yeah, spoiler alert. I'm not going to give it away.
That was just my watch list over the past month. I'm always reading something, so I finished Ronin. So I started that last month, and I finished Ronin this month. I really don't think that's one we can, really discuss, because there's a lot of online discussion on it. Overall, I loved it. I would still recommend it. I would like to listen to the audiobook. Maybe I would be able to capture more. The book just feels like, and again, this is my fault, a lot of the words are just like, well, that word is much too smart for me, but I get its context. So, if I hear it spoken, it'll probably do better. And the ending came kind of quickly and was very confusing. And when I posted it on a lot of places, a lot of people agreed, like, what's going on here? Why did this happen? Where did this person come from? But it had very cool force battles. Like at one point there, and if there's people don't mind some spoilers, I'll cover some small points. I probably won't cover the ending really, because it was like, I don't really know what happened. It had some really cool battles. Like at one point, one of the characters just decides to rip a ship apart. It's like, you know what? I'm sick of being captured. I'm going to rip the ship apart. And it's like, yes, the way it's explained is fantastic and surprising. And how they do some of the characters is great. Just when it gets to the ending, it's like, I'm not quite sure what happened. Hopefully at some point there's an audiobook and I'd be happy to listen to it.
Would you say the ending is open? Did they try to leave it open so that it could have more to be told in some fashion, or is it pretty closed?
I don't think it's Force Awakens level style cliffhanger, nothing like that. Anything could be kind of followed up, but I felt like all the characters got, what could be an ending, and really it could just pick, and so they lived their life as it is.
Okay.
But yeah, it definitely feels like kind of a one and done thing. Just the ending was like, whoa, what's happening? So, like I said, I would still recommend it. I would never not recommend something. So it was very good. I thought the force battles were cool. It was very only focused on a very limited number of characters. So I think it only focused on 5, maybe. So there's people getting lopped in half at one point. So a lot of great aspects to it. The ending, it's okay. And I actually downloaded an app for audiobooks. I thought I'd give that a try, and I listened to Dooku Jedi Lost. So I'm so happy to have that. So and I just finished that a couple days ago, and I downloaded the Afra audiobook, which is based on the graphic novel, which I read, but it's going to have all sorts of characters that I know. But I got to say, Dooku Jedi Lost was really good, too. It gave his history. The ending was kind of weird.
I've heard good things. I've heard good things about that. Dooku Jedi Lost, and it's on my list to listen to.
I just think Ryan thinks all endings are weird.
Yeah. Well, some are great. Like, Rising Storm, all the High Republic stuff is good. But man, I'm telling you, you just read ask anybody. The end of Ronin was weird. The end of the end of Dooku Jedi Lost, I was listening with my wife, where she didn't listen to the whole thing like I did, but she listened to the last hour and a half on the car ride. And when it ended, I'm like, I have no idea what just freaking happened. Again, it kind of came like out of nowhere. They tried like a twist. And again, I feel like it's the problem with audiobooks. The 2 books that I chose did a lot of time jumping. And both books were designed to be audiobooks, the other one being Tempest Runner. So, and now the next one I choose is based on a graphic novel on a comic book. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But again, it came really quick, and it was like, I don't know what happened, but the backstory on Dooku was fantastic. He's one of my favorite characters. I was hoping to see more from Sifo-Dyas, because there's always that question, like, Did he create the clone army? Did he not? Was it people acting like Sifo Dyas?
You gotta keep watching.
I was hoping for that answer. Is it in there?
Yeah.
Is it in Clone Wars? Okay.
Well, I'm
only on season 3, which is
in the Clone
good.
Wars. There is stuff about it in the Clone Wars. I still feel that it was still not quite fully explained.
It's a bit
still
ambiguous,
it's still a lot more.
It's pretty much there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. Something to look for.
I'm still not clear on the whole thing. I don't think they've actually really spelt it out, the whole Cypher and backstory and what he was up to and all that kind of stuff. So I think there's still room. That's what I'd love to see. Something about that, a comic or a book or about that kind of.
Sifo Dyas on Disney Plus next year.
Sifo Dyas this year. That's Star Wars story.
The book of Sifo Dyas.
Yeah. So but now I have probably about, and one more. I probably have like 10 audiobooks saved. But then the last thing that as far as my purchases went, I'll put it here in the group. But what I bought yesterday, which I'm super happy about, is I bought the Lego set for Boba Fett Starship. It dropped $10 in price. So it's only $40. It's a 600-piece set. And I've been staring at it for weeks. And finally, it was like the wife was like, "Yeah, just get it, geez." So I bought it, and I'm super happy to start building it with a kid.
Nice.
I was eyeballing that thing for a while, and I'm very excited to get it.
On sale, or the price actually dropped?
Yeah, so it dropped $10.
Cool.
So and they have a ton of them. Like I've been to 2 different WalMarts, and they each had over 10 sets. So I'm very happy to get that, to start building that one. So that was one of the things I was most excited about.
You could do unboxing videos and Lego being built. There must be people who do that on YouTube. I never bothered to do it. There must be people who unbox Lego and then build it on video.
Yeah, they do time. They'll do time lapse videos, and that's kind of.
And then you just see them crying in the corner.
There's always something left over at the end.
Well, this is only a 600-piece, so it's not bad. But it comes with Boba Fett and Din, so and the Mandalorian. So I was like, well, that's great. So I mean, I really enjoy both those figures. So I'm very happy to start building this.
I always remember my Lego bin. It's always the stickers I always got annoyed on. You try and put them on right, you don't get them on right, and then they don't. And then they're always things that come off first, aren't they? The stickers, and you can never get replacements with the stickery stuff. So that's what used to annoy me anyway. It's probably improved since 25 years ago. So
yeah, I hope there's not stickers on it. I looked at some of the pieces closely, and from the outside of the box, I'm waiting to open it till the kid gets home. But
been a while for me, but yeah, I don't know that I've dealt with a set or seen a set. I know my nephew does a lot of them. I don't think I've seen a set that a lot of the stuff is now printed on the pieces. Special one-off pieces, whatever. But yeah, a lot of it's gotten printed on, so silk screened on there in some fashion, whatever. So yeah, I think you could dive back into that there, Stephen. I don't think there's a lot of sticker action in the Lego sets.
Oh well, that's good to know.
Yeah, I don't.
So always used to annoy. And talking about stickers in Star Wars, always used to annoy me. My R2D2, because a lot of his main torso is all sticker, isn't it? A great big sticker all around the front and back, showing all the controls. It used to get ripped and it was getting dirty. That was always, it's just stickers and toys.
Yeah, I was never a fan of the stickers on them.
No,
so
just paint it on and draw it on and stuff with stickers. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's move on. Marie.
Let me think. Let's see. I did watch The Rise of Skywalker not too long ago, just because I felt like watching it, and I did not enjoy it as much as I initially had. So I'm not sure that it's even one of my favorites. But that was one thing I did. I'm digging up my Christmas decorations, and I have a lot of Star Wars decorations. I found my Grogu from last year. I found what else did I find? I found an old Star Wars set from a Hallmark collection from years and years ago, and it's a 3PO and R2D2, and that was kind of gratifying. I also did go to the Hallmark store the other day, and I know I showed you guys the new Book of Boba Fett decoration. I have my eye on that. I'm going to get that when the after Christmas sales.
The one where he sat on his toilet. I mean the throne.
Yeah, when he's on his.
The first thing I thought was it's Boba Fett on the toilet. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was the one. I'm really excited to hit the after Christmas sales for that one, because I'm gonna get that one once Christmas is over, because it was, God, what was it, like almost $30? So
if that's something you're definitely chasing or something you definitely want to have in your collection, I highly recommend keeping an eye on the stock in the store, because if it gets low, you might have to pick it up at full price. I'm well aware of the after Christmas fun that it can be the Hallmarks, but with the number of Hallmark stores closing that have closed over the years or whatever, there's not as many of those to take action on. And some of those popular ones don't make that clearance rack. So just keep an eye on it throughout the season.
I'm definitely keeping an eye on it and seeing if it will hit the after Christmas, because that's like that particular Hallmark store is the only Hallmark store around for like I would say about 25 miles these days. So
yeah, we used to have a number of them, and it was great because you could go after. But now, I'm kind of in the same boat, down to just one that services the area, but the one doesn't really ever do the. It's been around forever, and I think they're smart enough to know not to do the Christmas things because they just sit on that stock. So just okay, good. As long as you were aware of that.
Yeah, I know, because there's not very many Hallmark stores around here anymore. I think that's literally the only one that I can think of within a 25-mile radius of me.
You need to get install a webcam in the shop pointing at the aisle, then you can keep a live look on it and see what's going on. Or just become really panny with somebody who works in there and get them to give you the scoop, and just random person working. They just go, how often do you work here?
Just grab one and hide it in the store.
What's your message in
there?
Yeah.
There's so many other franchises and so many other Hallmark collector types or whatever that they're trying to do all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that the stores will always tell you, at least my experience, unless you really truly make someone friend, they're going to be like, oh, no, you're going to want to pick that because, they want to sell it at the full price.
Obviously they want to sell it at full price. There's a couple of really cool ones though. There's a little one it's lights and I think music called The Merriest House in the Galaxy, and I really want to get that one too. But I almost bought it the other day. That it was really cute. I think it has music, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. It's kind of cool looking though.
It just reminded me of the Chewy with Christmas lights. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just thinking about Christmas decorations. I kind of like that one, but I'm just looking at it here on Funko Pop Chewy with lights toy. I like it, but I don't think I'm going to get away with that on the mantelpiece somehow. But we should see. I'm on my search.
You're putting way too much thought into it, Stephen.
All I want is something that is predominantly first time you look at it, you think, oh, that's Christmassy, and then you think afterwards, you think, oh, and Star Wars. So that's what I'm looking out for. I need to try and find something. If I don't find something for this year, I'll have it definitely ready for next year. That's for sure.
What if you find something with like a tauntaun that has like snow around it? Like a tauntaun.
There's a Funko Pop. Oh, there's Han running a tauntaun.
You put a little Santa hat on.
I shall try and find. Oh, there's. Oh no, I can't get that one either. No, I'm just wobbling. Okay, excellent. I was going to say to everybody that I have restarted my rewatch of the Clone Wars again since the last time round. So I'm now about midway through season 4. So I'm just ahead of Ryan.
Did you already pass me?
Well, I did start this about a year ago and then got stopped. I watch an episode a day now, which is quite good for me. So I got to the one. I won't say too much because I know Ryan, you were just catching up with the first time stuff, but. Some of the episodes in season 4, it's like, I don't remember this at all. And I'm wondering whether I actually did see them the first time round or not. But then I get to another episode and I think, I remember seeing this one. I don't know, maybe it's like that on rewatches of things like that. You think, do you always find an episode where you're like, I don't remember this one at all? Or is it just maybe my really bad memory? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think if we only watched it once back in the day, or whatever, that there could be a number of episodes that didn't have, if they didn't have like a through line, a storyline, or if they weren't part of a multi-episode sort of story, and just a bit of a one-off. I've experienced that where you're just like, wait, boy, I don't know if I'm sure I've seen it because I know I watched them all with my kids, but I'm like, boy, I don't remember this one.
I know when the Clone Wars was on the very first time it was on, I didn't watch it from the start. I came in sort of like midway.
Blasphemy.
So, yeah, I don't know, because I just for some reason I didn't think I saw the movie and I didn't like the movie. Yeah, I wasn't that keen on the movie.
I call for a vote of no confidence in the chancellor.
I know. I mean, I love it all now. I have seen my way.
I didn't even watch the movie when it came out. I waited till it was like on video.
I remember going and seeing it in cinema, and I was like, "What? What's this? This is not my Star Wars. This is all cartoony sort of stuff."
Well,
But
we knew
obviously,
it was going to be cartoony. I've told this story many times. I just remember sitting there with my daughter, just so excited to have Star Wars in the theater again, so ready to settle in and sort of not indoctrinate her, but let her see Star Wars on the big screen, because that was the first opportunity of anything that was on the big screen, given her age or whatever. And the fanfare blast, and it's not the Star Wars opening theme. And I just remember sitting in my seat going, oh, ew, wait, what'd you do? Why are you changing it? Now, I've since come to love the opening theme of Clone Wars. But I was expecting, and this is always gets the expectation, I was expecting that John Williams Star Wars opening fanfare blast, and didn't get that, and was from the get-go, I don't want to say disappointed, but just like, oh wait, what have you guys gone and done to Star Wars here? And I ended up enjoying the movie and everything, but I just so remember that feeling when that fanfare hit, and it wasn't my Star Wars. It was just like, well, what's going on here? But have since come to grow and enjoy that Clone Wars fanfare immensely.
Then you fell in love with Stinky the Hut.
Well, yeah, sure.
I do remember the early days, and I always found the fact of having Ahsoka around was really annoying to me. So she's just getting in the way of trying to tell Anakin's backstory.
I couldn't figure out how Anakin could not be a master, but he had a Padawan, and that just bothered me. So I didn't watch it at all until maybe, I think when they brought Maul back, that's when I started kind of watching.
I think that's for me as well. I think that might be when I thought I need to give this a bit of a go. I did. So I think that might be why I some of these episodes I don't remember as much, depending on where I came in the first time round. Because that whole series, about four or five episodes, all about Jedi Master Krell with the arms. I'm sure I would have remembered a Jedi Knight with 4 arms if I'd watched this beforehand, but I could not remember any of it. But then parts of the story seemed familiar. But the only thing that I won't spoil too much for Ryan. But the only thing they don't seem to explain is, as they do in a lot of these Clone Wars episodes, they go straight into the episode with the Head 9 blasting stuff. I couldn't work out why they were on this planet killing a load of people in the first place. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that is.
What's this all about?
I did notice that. Even me watching it chronologically, it seems like each episode, even back-to-back chronologically within the same battle storyline, is making jumps, and they're revealing things with and the Empire Force is now taking over the place. And I was like, wait, when did that happen? I was like, did I miss an episode? They're talking about this huge battle, and they just covered it in an opening. I don't know if it'd be an opening crawl, but an opening narration. So they're taking jumps even in the same story. I'm not knocking it. I just find it funny. It's even telling an animated story, they're glossing over big battles, and it's here we are now in space, and I'm like, what did I miss?
Well, I was thinking, not to get boring, but I was thinking I know there's a war going on, but sometimes some of the rationale of why are they on this planet blowing things up, attacking things, and sort of things is sort of kept out of the actual plot. And what I couldn't work out here is it starts with them on this planet, and everybody's up there. There's stuff going on all over the place, and it looks absolutely gorgeous, this planet, which I can't remember the name that they're on. And the most prettiest planet I've ever seen, because everything's sort of dark. It's a completely always in the dark, this planet, and all the sort of features are sort of luminous and glowing and stuff. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's like watching what's that film with the motorbikes in the game? Something, can't remember. Tron. That's it. It's like watching Tron, not in cartoon form. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Were they on Felucia?
No.
The only thing they didn't explain is because there's no separatists on that planet. The only thing they didn't explain is why are all the Republic there blowing things up, attacking all these people.
They could have been separatists.
They could have been, but I completely missed that bit. But it's very interesting. Also, in that set of 4 or 5 episodes, you get some of the clones, Rex, saying, what's this war all for? Why are we doing this? What's it all about? Sort of thing. Which you hear about a lot afterwards, but I didn't always pick up on it of clones questioning what.
It's kind of from the beginning. They start well, what are we doing here? Why are we? We're just cannon fodder kind of thing.
And there's a whole lot about clones following orders and not obeying them, and whether they are actually programmed to follow orders in that thing. Because that's
soldiers follow orders.
Yeah, there's a lot of wishy-washy where you could read it either way. Because when obviously Order 66 is initiated, they've got no choice but to follow it. But then in this series of this particular story arc, you've got sort of some who are must follow orders, and you've got some who are, well, we can't follow orders that are bad orders, sort of thing. So I mean, that brings on that whole debate about how programmed the clones are in the first place, sort of thing, which I find it quite interesting, given what we know with the Bad Batch and everything else subsequently. But at the time,
I really like that arc, the Krell arc. That one was a good one.
Yeah, it's very good. You've got some really good to look forward to, right?
That's like movie-esque, like that. You could actually watch that like as a movie, like 3 episodes back to back. Because I think it's 3 episodes, right?
It's about 4. I think it's 4.
Is it 4? Yeah.
It's 4. It's 4. Yeah, that's what Clone Wars did very well. When they had a group of episodes in a big arc, they were very good. Very good.
Yeah.
So you could watch them like a movie.
Yeah, Clone Wars was famous for like a 4-episode trilogy.
Yes.
they would do that a lot. They would always do that action. But yeah, there was some good storyline in that. I seem to think there was something to him that people were asking about what's going on, why are they attacking the planet. I think there was something to Pong Krell's motivations, maybe not so much the Jedi or the Republic or something, but he had some motivations that he was hell bent on war or hell bent on just destruction. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
my bad.
No spoilers for Ryan, but I have to say it is a very good arc. Yeah, it's Dexter. That's what I was thinking. The first thing I was thinking.
Yeah, he's a Dexter Jester.
Dexter's cousin. Yeah, I'm sure.
Is it really?
No, not his cousin, but he's that.
He's
so
one of
again,
those,
Brian,
yeah.
go watch it,
Same
and then we'll
species.
discuss the heck out of it.
Yeah, I do have a couple questions about the series. Well, they're kind of like open based. Well, the first one is I got to say, when people kept saying season 3 is where it really takes off, that's where I'm at season 3. I got to say they're 100% right. Season 3 has been really doing great, and I highly appreciate Ahsoka's redesign. I was never a big fan of her season 1 and 2 design. I was like, this just looks kind of weird. But her season 3, the redesign, where she's a little bit older, I think it's fantastic. But like my question is, does she become a knight or is she a Padawan? I know that spoilers, I guess, for people who are in my boat too, but I know at one point she leaves the order / maybe kicked out or whatever. But at any point, does she get on her own and become a knight, or is she always a Padawan up until, she leaves the order?
I think she's always a Padawan.
I think she's always a Padawan. I think
I think her thing got cut off. She's got because she couldn't have a braid of hair or whatever. She's got something attached to her. And
No, she was always a Padawan. She was always a Padawan. She never turned into. No.
Or she turns that in at the end then.
Well, you're spoiling it for Ryan.
No, he knew that.
Like I said, I don't know how or why she leaves. And I know the reasoning and stuff. But yeah, again, that was just a real simple question. We don't have to go into depth about it. But I was wondering if we got to see her try.
No, I don't. But
if she's a Padawan the whole time. Then
she leaves as a Padawan. So,
that's interesting though. Kind of is a Padawan a Jedi? Because like she always claims to be a Jedi, but she's not.
Well, so was Kanan. Kanan was a Padawan.
Yeah, but I mean, we got to see him as a Jedi because he was the only one around, pretty much. Yeah, but the question is, are you really a Jedi until you've actually passed your test, so to speak?
Was Luke ever a Padawan? No.
Well,
he also was like, "I'm a master," and Yoda's like, "No, you ain't. You ain't nothing."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we do not recognize the title.
Luke did the summer school Jedi training.
It's true though, isn't it? But I mean, that might be some of the sort of the downfall of the whole Jedi thing. You talk about the whole High Republic and that kind of stuff. Is that getting too rigid and too picky on things? I suppose is probably their downfall in a lot of ways. But
their dogmatic, narrow view of the Jedi.
Exactly. Was there another question, Ryan?
And then, the other thing is more episode specific. So I've actually been getting a lot behind Asajj Ventress. I've been Dooku Jedi Lost, and then the episodes really surround her. And what I found really strange was I'm on the episodes with Savage when he comes out, and at one point Palpatine just straight up says, "You're getting to Dooku. You're getting a little too close with Savage. She's getting too powerful. She's not your apprentice. She is your assassin. But because I think she's a threat, I want you to kill Asajj Ventress." And Dooku's just straight up, "Yes, sir." And then he bombs her ship. And then that same episode, he goes to the Night Sisters, gets Savage, and he's like, "We're going to team up and kill Palpatine." And I'm like, wait a minute. If that was your plan the whole time, why would you kill the much more powerful Asajj Ventress? Like, as far as the story, as far as writing goes, I thought that was kind of poor, honestly. Where it's like,
to be fair, she failed
does
quite
it
a bit
though?
of
I'll
time.
push back on that because doesn't that him taking out Asajj, following Palpatine's orders, you got to get rid of her. Okay, and goes and gets rid of her. He gains trust. He gains Curry's favor, and otherwise stays in his good graces and isn't suspected of anything. Goes out and gets Savage that now Palps doesn't know anything about to help train, mold, and otherwise take him out, kind of thing, or whatever. So I kind of think it does work because it helps him. I see what you're saying in terms of
You throw Palpatine off the scent.
yeah, Asajj would have been so much more the one to have by his side to try to take Palps out. Palps saying, she's too close, she's too strong, whatever, you got to get rid of her. Him going, crap, all right, well, I got to do that. Him doing that, like Ricky just said, yeah, throws off the scent, and then he's, back in the good graces.
I mean, he could have just acted like, because she's still alive, so they just think she's dead. They don't censor, they just think she's dead. And he could have done it anyway. He could be like, oh, yeah, look, I blew up the ship. And she could have just taken like an escape pod with the engines off and picked her up later. So, I mean, I understand we're building a story here, but I just thought that was weird. In the same episode, he's like, now we will kill Palpatine. I'm like, wait, you could have just done that before. Like, you're taking on a new person. You got to start from scratch. And again, I don't know much about Savage. I don't know where he ends up being as far as power. And they made him, really strong here at the beginning. But I know eventually, as with every villain, it's lose and come back and fight another day. That's like you say, building a story. But yeah, I see it as that beholden to the Sith and beholden to your master. And if your master says do this, then you do it. But yeah, trying to see it. So yeah, in the same episode, turning around, I could see where you could have.
Wasn't very reliable to him though, because she did like mess up a lot. A lot of the episodes she just ended up just running away, blowing something up and getting away. She had to just cut out and didn't.
She failed Dooku, failed Dooku a number of times.
She did. She
but then on that point, Dooku fails Palps as well. So yeah, it's
which is why he gets killed. He's like, do it.
Yes.
Well, he needed to dispatch him at that point, or else he could have, turned snitch and given up a whole lot of information right then and there to everyone.
It's funny because Palpatine tells him to kill him, and then he tells Anakin, "Oh, it's okay. You wanted revenge. Like it was your idea to kill him." He just told him to.
Yeah, Palpatine seems like the ultimate hypocrite, where he's like, "Don't be teaming up to fight me. I'll build Dooku up as my apprentice, and I'm also building up Anakin at the same time.
Yeah,
and I'm building up these ones, and I have all these other ones." And it's like you're not following the rule of tool at all. I mean, you may be stronger than all of them. Yeah, he's definitely stronger than all of them, but he definitely had.
But isn't he doing that because he knows he knows that you don't want your apprentice to get too, you want to build your apprentice up, have him to do all your dirty work and all that sort of stuff, but you don't want him to come too, because they're eventually going to try to take you out. So Dooku gets to that point, and he's quasi looking for his next one because he knows he's not going to keep Dooku around his apprentice forever.
That's the point of the rule of two.
To always have a master and an apprentice. But I think Palps is like he's done with that rule of two stuff in terms of I'm not getting taken out by my apprentice. I know how that works. I benefited from it in a big way, and I'm not going out like a punk. So he constantly is like
and then
said,
he just
looking for his new apprentice. Yeah, constantly looking for his new apprentice to where he got to a point where he didn't have one and found a way to be around forever. Type of thing. Yeah, that's how I kind of justify it, I guess, in my head.
Yeah,
he had the rule of
I don't
one.
think he really cared for the rule of two.
No,
him.
He did when it benefited him for sure, but yeah, once he took care of his master.
His rule of two was Palpatine and Sidious. That was his two. He was his own apprentice.
What I always find really random in the Clone Wars, in a funny sort of amusing kind of way, is sometimes when you've got like Anakin and Obi-Wan, and let's say there's 100 droids attacking them, and then they take them all out quickly in like space of like 20 seconds. And then you get another scene, another episode where they go into a room and there's like 5 droids, and then they have to surrender. And
that did happen quite a bit.
It's really strange when they give up, when they take them all out sometimes.
Or like 6 pirates, and then they're like, "Oh, I guess we're surrounded."
Yeah, it just seems completely arbitrary to me sometimes.
And how you're mentioning Ventress kind of fails a lot. She takes on Obi-Wan almost, episodically. It's like you failed against 2 of the most powerful Jedi at the current order. Like she's not failing against a bunch of Padawans. unless I'm confusing it with Savage, and yeah, she beat the both of them and then ran away, but she still straight up beat them down and then got away. So it's like live to fight another day, but she escaped because she beat the pants off of them. I was
Well,
like,
she definitely was like the
no
villain
joke
of the week for that show. I'll get you next time.
Oh yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Okay, folks.
So it's good. I'm excited for more.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good run. Clone Wars, and there's lots of it. That's good, and I really enjoy my rewatch. And those must be the fourth time. I can't remember how many times I've gone through them, but
every time Ryan mentions the episode, I just go and watch it just so I can remember what happened.
I tell you what's fun on. I'm not sure if it's on the DVDs or not, but on Disney Plus, when you watch them, you get to the end. There's like still 2 minutes left. You're like, what's this all about? And then you forward it on. And you've got like all the credits in different languages to go through and stuff. It got me the first time. I was like, it's just finished. How can there still be 2 minutes left of the episode? And I quickly forward it. It's like all these different credits and different languages and stuff. But even that's not consistent. You go to some episodes and it just finishes not long after the end of the episode. So I don't know what's going on there, but it's funny. Okay, so we're an hour in, and we haven't even got to the second topic on the agenda, which is the Book of Boba Fett trainers, which we've had since last time we were here. So,
okay.
I know.
Is that the one where he says, "I am Boba Fett"?
I think it's both of them. So I will quickly share. Okay, here we go.
I am not a bounty hunter. I've heard otherwise. I know that you sit on the throne of your former employer.
Jabba ruled with fear. I intend to rule with respect.
You were all once captains under Jabba the Hutt.
I'm here to make a proposal that's mutually beneficial. Why speak of conflict when cooperation can make us all rich?
What prevents us all from killing you and taking what we want?
If you had spoken such insolence to Jabba, he'd have fed you to his menagerie.
Please. Speak freely.
And I'll quickly play the second one because it's pretty much the same thing and it's very quick and short. So let's click that one.
I am Boba Fett, left for dead on the sands of Tatooine.
Jabba ruled with fear. I intend to rule with respect.
The Book of Boba Fett, streaming December 29th on Disney+.
You got it. It goes a bit like that anyway.
You're gonna scrub through it. Have you guys seen people pointing out the scene with the Twi'leks? That there's a gentleman that walks behind them, and if you pause it right when he gets in between them, you might recognize him.
I did not notice.
I've heard something about that somewhere, but I can't for the life of me remember who it is.
I'm not a fan of those aliens at the table. I think they look kind of wonky.
But pretty, but Star Trek-y.
Yeah, especially the one that looks like a dog. The Trandoshans, they look kind of weird. The Trandoshans are kind of odd. Their eyes.
Oh, it's that Trandoshan. It is. They are. Those two, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know they can regrow the limbs?
Oh.
Do we get an Efont man? Efont mon? There it is. Oh, go scrub just another couple frames.
I shall try.
Back or forth?
One more frame. Forward. Sorry. Not that guy. Oh, there. Oh, there. Oh,
What?
I don't know how to do this.
Obi-Wan?
So yeah, when he gets in between them, that's some speculation that's out there. There's definitely a case to be made. Definitely a case that
But
could be
this
made.
is
Although
after the movies.
yeah, so as soon as I said that, I had that same sort of thought that unless this is a flashback.
Yeah,
this
remember
does
season 1
not
Mando was all
have a
flashback.
case. Does not have a case to be made because the timeline's
It's not
totally
the right
off.
timeline, is it? No.
Yeah, no, it's off. So yeah, all right, never mind.
I mean, it could be a flashback.
But right, from a flashback standpoint, that'd be kind of cool.
But yeah, that could be a flashback.
And then I also, in hearing Fennec saying, if you said that Jabba would have fed you to his menagerie, how does Fennec know anything about Jabba? Now, granted, Jabba was, feared and known a lot, but when hearing her say that, it makes me go, wait a minute, what does she know? But if she was a bounty hunter all this time, that speaks volumes to her being a droid kind of thing, or whatever. How does she? Because she's not old enough. Boba is, but she's not old enough to know of Jabba feeding.
Yeah, she is. She was in Bad Batch. She was around back then.
Yeah,
Bad Batch.
She looked pretty young.
Revenge.
I mean, Ezra knew who Jabba was. He used to tell people he was Jabba the Hutt.
He's the leader of the Hutt. So I think everyone kind of knew of what he did and that he feeds people and don't mess around with them.
Yeah. Well, so
weird they didn't
Ezra
say
would
Rancor.
know of Jabba in name of knowing of Don Corleone or knowing about him in name that he was. But would he know of? She kind of spoke like she knew the intricacies of how Jabba worked. That she would, if you said such things to him, he'd feed you to his menagerie.
I mean, Boba
you're right, but it might just be that Boba's just updated her on that before they joined up or when they turned up there. You could just say, Jabba used to do this, that, and the other thing, and she just knows that information. It might not come from her first-hand knowledge.
I get that in terms of explaining it away, but I don't know if anyway. So we will find out. The other takeaway in all this is you hear the stinger at the end about Book of Boba Fett coming December 29th or whatever, and I look at the corner of my computer and see, we got like 20-some days, 24 days. So yeah. Wicked excited to see.
It's kind of
Wednesday that is, isn't it? Yeah.
Even with the finale of Mando, with Luke showing up and stuff. Wouldn't Boba want revenge on Luke?
Oh yeah, I definitely have had that thought, and we've had that conversation that Boba had to not be around in that scene because there's potentially some animosity or something. Not that he knew who Luke was at the time, or that Luke did anything to. But okay, so is he? And there's the whole Mandalorian Jedi thing or whatever. That what's if Boba Fett and Luke are in the same room together, whatever, what's the animosity there? And would Luke have any? I don't know that Luke would. He might, because he knew Boba Fett. Yeah, he knew Boba Fett was trying to take care of Han. Or did he know? What did he know? What does Luke know about? He just knows that guy's shooting at him and is trying.
Why would Boba Fett have any beef with Luke compared to anybody else in the whole universe?
Boba Fett is the one who revealed to Vader who Luke Skywalker was.
Oh, we had this discussion.
But Luke was blinded. Yeah, we had that last month. But I mean, Luke still doesn't. He probably only. I'd be surprised if he really know Boba at all. I mean, Luke really isn't invested in the news of the galaxy. He's been doing his own thing kind of the whole time. So he probably really doesn't give a care who Boba Fett is, I think. But Boba Fett definitely knows who Luke is, and I think he's got more of a beef with Han anyway. So
yes, I can understand
Han and Lando
sort of. Stuff, but Luke, I just can't see why he would have any kind of.
This seems like it's really going to be the Book of Boba Fett and telling his story. Do we think we get anything related to Han and Boba story, or is that saved for being told if they ever do anything again with Han?
Because this is like going to be a power vacuum kind of story.
Yeah,
it seems like,
and not really have to do care or fill in anything or tell us anything with regards to Han. I kind of think it's going to be that vacuum story after the.
What he seems to have will become quite clear, I suppose, after the first episode, won't it? But I get a feeling that he seems to have come from the Sarlacc pit instant as a changed man of sorts.
Maybe. Yeah, so, because even like in Clone Wars,
that past stuff is going to be of any issue, any
in
interest.
Clone Wars as a kid, he just wanted revenge on the Jedi. He didn't, he was just like, he hated them all, for his dad, getting killed. But
that would speak why he's after Luke and wouldn't want any part of.
Somewhere along the way, that changed for him, I guess, and we haven't seen that. Or why?
Wouldn't want any part of Luke, or Grogu, if he knew what Grogu was all about, if he knew what the Mandalorian was doing. But he did. He said I'll help you with the kid or something. But maybe I got to rewatch a Mandalorian. You know, how much does he know about what Grogu is and what the Mando's trying to do and reunite him with his kind? Is that all he says, or does he say reunite him with a Jedi? Because if he says that, Boba should be like, oh, wait, what? Yeah. I want in on this.
I think he's a changed man from the Sonnet bit. I don't think it's the same person as beforehand. I think being stuck in somebody's stomach for 2 or 3 years does that to people.
Maybe there's gonna be an episode where they're just in the stomach of the Sarlacc and he's meeting a Jedi down there. He has a conversation with them.
So the trailer really gives nothing.
Yeah.
The trailer really gives nothing about what's the show to expect in the show, other than he might be a crime boss. That's fine. I'm going in with open expectations. I'm not overly excited for it. I just want to see what happens. And the first episode could blow the doors open. So it looks beautiful. Yeah. That's all I know.
Yeah, it definitely looks gorgeous. I did have one thought in watching it that I worried if some Boba Fett fans might get disappointed because he's not going to be the Boba Fett that they thought or wanted him to be. Because doesn't he say something in this trailer about I'm not a bounty hunter? You know, not that they're trying to do the subverting expectations kind of thing or whatever, but are they telling some story that is in a different timeline? So it's going to. I think there's a slight potential. I'd hedge a little bit of a bet that they might upset some Boba Fett fans because they're not going to get what they want.
Well, we don't need that. I mean,
expectations.
We've had.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is, Ryan. Expectations. Check them at the door. Just enjoy
everything.
Just enjoy a story being told to you, man, and it's going to be awesome.
I think we got all our sort of Boba Fett hits from the Mandalorian show, didn't we? Really, yeah. And that's what we was expecting from Boba Fett. And so if they just came on and did the same old thing, it'd be just Mandalorian .2, wouldn't it? So.
The scene you have frozen here, or whatever, that we think that would be all practical, or some of that void. Like there's people, fuzzy in the background, so I think they're legit there. Whatever you would think, the backdrop then would be painted to be the void, or is the void for more open, expansive stuff?
Universe.
I mean the volume.
Sorry, it's the volume.
The volume.
Thank you. The volume.
I mean that's pretty. I have to say, I've been fooled by a lot of stuff. So
the outside scenes are gorgeous. The colors, it is going to be beautiful to watch.
Usually it's mixed. When they showed it for when they're outside, they'll do the foreground rocks, but the background. So the walls could be the volume.
These aliens look like
the
they
vases
got CGI
could
faces.
Be practical. It didn't seem like it to me.
Yeah, no, he looks
because
the CGI.
The way they spoke was
practical. I don't know. Not the guy at the end. I don't know what kind of alien that guy at the end is. But yeah, the one that looks like what's his? He looks like Jeepers Creepers to me. Every time
he does look like a new alien, right? Or new breed, new species. I don't think we were.
I was thinking it was like those guys from the Black Sun, right? Is that what they were called?
I thought it was the Zago.
Are these vein?
Oh, they were the horned, whatever.
Are they his real veins, or are they being stuck on for, as in they veins or they scratches or something on his?
Those are scars.
The scars.
Those are scars.
I mean, they're not his scars. I mean, they're actually put on.
He's asking, are they Tem scars or are they Boba scars?
Probably Boba scars. I don't think he.
Because it could be either, couldn't it? I mean,
I'm not sure if he's got scars in real life.
Well, plus, if you compare to what he looked like in the Mando, the Mandalorian episode reveal or whatever, yeah, he's definitely spent some back to time.
Well, I mean, you would think he would have had that tan walking around with no helmet,
Oh yeah, well yeah, he would have had the helmet on when he fell into the
pit. But if he was Tusken cloaked, hidden, hiding in that would be what kept him out of the sun. So hopefully, I'm sure they're aware of it and will explain it to us. I'm excited for him too.
Yeah, I want to know how he got out and what he was doing up until the point we see him in Mando. That's the interesting part.
Yeah, I want to see the escape.
And especially as he falls into the Sarlacc pit with all his stuff on, and yet somehow manages to lose that. So does he get half digested? He can't get half digested, and the Sarlacc thing spit out.
Maybe when the Sarlacc burped, it his armor flew off. I don't know.
Oh, it's pretty.
In Legends, he just escapes. I mean, there's some dudes stuck to the wall for like 100 years. It's actually relatively good. He escapes fully with his armor, but he just takes it all off because he's got like acid damage, and he doesn't want to be carrying it through the desert. So he literally just takes it off and that leads to Cobb Vanth pretty much finding it. So most likely he just, and again, but that would be weird actually now that I think about it, because it's his father's, and he just
right. That's going to be really hard
to
square, because with the whole Mandalorian thing, and then his father's and the chain code and hunting it and wanting it back and willing to do anything for it, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's.
Also, thinking on the same code, he willingly blew up his father's helmet in Clone Wars. So you can't really say that he cares about the armor when he willingly blew up the most important piece, the most recognizable piece. He just, tried to kill all these Jedi by putting a bomb in it. So really, the only original piece that he has is an armband and a chest piece, maybe the knee rockets. The most noticeable piece has been blown to pieces. So realistically, he doesn't care about the armor. He's willing to use it as a bomb.
That's true.
Well, interesting. So that is his dad's armor. He just paints it his green colors.
I don't know.
Well, at least the wristband.
He picks up the head. Yeah.
Well, the head wasn't in the helmet anymore.
Picks up the head from Attack of the Clones. So.
Brian, if
the
you
head flies out.
You can see the head fall out of the helmet.
Yeah, it flies out.
Yeah. That's what I saw on.
Oh, that's the director's cut. Okay. We need that 4K release.
I saw on as the rabbit hole that YouTube is, when I was flicking through some random Star Wars stuff, I got onto this chap who goes on about Star Wars explained in quotes sort of thing, and he was saying that one of the deleted scenes from Attack of the Clones was it was going to be more graphic, Mace Windu against Jango Fett. And he was going to chop off his arms and legs and then his head at the end, apparently. But they cut that out because they thought it was a bit too
ambitious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on that. Yeah, he didn't need to do all that.
Yeah, I mean the head does it, doesn't it? But
they also cut out the scene with NSYNC. In the arena.
Well, that's about. I would love to.
They're in the
musical number.
They're in the background. Yeah, I don't know if they ever explained that symbol that he always had on his armor.
I was just thinking it looks like New Zealand flag.
It wouldn't be because it's been on there since 77. Or 80, I guess. I don't know.
77? No, 1980.
80, yeah. I always wonder how his cape didn't catch on fire with the jetpack. I don't even see him wearing one.
It's the Beskar.
The Beskar cape. And why does he have bullets?
Yeah, it's Beskar fabric.
Or maybe those are his rockets. The thing with Mando, when I was rewatching it again, like, they shot that rocket like 3 times. Like, where did they get the refills? Like, he can't just go and...
I said that before, didn't I?
Well, you got to figure you've got armor, you've got your supplies for
but
your ammo. Yeah, but you got your ammo stash somewhere. It's not like he did it twice in a row and you didn't see him restock it. He could have gone to his ammo.
See
yeah, maybe it's more
that's the magic of pouches.
He had a big rocket in his pouch.
Maybe
look at it. He's got pouches on his belt. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, could be more than one rocket maybe there. Maybe they push one out and then pushes out the other one, perhaps. I don't know.
I think we are going to see him do all his little gadgets and tricks, though, with his...
It's movie magic. We're not supposed to
question because that's what everyone wants to see is refilling ammo in Star Wars. So we're going to watch people recharging their lightsabers. We have all this action. We'll do a cutaway of them sitting in the room, texting each other like, I'm just waiting for my saber.
I wouldn't mind if that's like the beginning
Boba Fett buying rockets.
The intro music, if he's just gearing up, that'd be cool. Like a Rambo kind of thing he's putting in his...
Oh, yeah. I'd be all for that. A gear up.
Yeah.
Honestly, a bit like Hot Shots Part 2. He picks up some sort of wildlife and puts it in his bow and fires it at somebody. So what do we think?
We need a training montage. That's for sure.
A mole. Some mole on his face as well. So what do we think we're going to get from this 7-episode arc? I mean, not what we want to happen. What do we think we're going to get from it?
How about I'll ask a question. Do you think we get closure? Do we think we get a 7-episode arc and it's open ended that we might get more Boba, or is it gonna tie up loose ends or otherwise be concise and okay, we got that story?
I think it's going to be a heavier element of closure to it, but not.
I wonder, like, will we see the end of Boba Fett, or will it be left open to tell more stories on Boba Fett?
Yeah, see, I see both ways. I'm with Steven in terms of I see a heavy dose of closure to give us some Boba Fett or something, but then I also see open-ended and let you tell some more chapters, some more books or some more chapters of this book.
It will heavily conclude the thrust of the story for this arc, shall we say? But yes,
I don't think it's a villain, or
I don't think it's going to end with him dead. But I think it will answer all the questions and bring a heavy dose of closure by the end of the arc. But still, if they really wanted to, you could have more. But they call it the Book of Boba Fett, so I mean, a book has a start and an end. So you kind of think that sort of in itself sort of implies that this is all going to be in one book, and that's going to be the bulk of it is going to be.
The book also has chapters. It has, phase 2.
Yeah.
And books can also come in series, so don't count on that too heavily.
But like Dune.
Yeah.
Well, it can't be that they would want to see the success of it to see if they want to tell more story. They gotta know it's going to be successful. Plus, they have a content machine now that needs new content to generate subscribers or otherwise just maintain some freshness or whatever. So that swings the pendulum towards the open-ended side of things, because it would allow them to come up with a new slate and tell some more Boba stories.
Do you think he's gonna like clean up Tatooine and make it a little safer, or do you think he's gonna continue doing the illegal stuff that Jabba was doing? Like, is he gonna be a spice, kingpin, and he gonna have Poe Dameron show up and join his
crew? They may
crew?
try to make him a little good.
Yeah, he wants to rule with fear versus rule with respect. So yeah, what's the rule with respect gonna do?
A little good.
So maybe he cleans up Tatooine, so then it's not a problem for the galaxy, trying to rebuild.
Yeah, I think it's going to be something like the Boba Fett rehabilitation tour, from what it sounds like. The whole "I'm not a bounty hunter" and let's rule with respect rather than fear kind of thing.
Yes, and make him a not a good guy, but not the rehabilitation tour. That's a good call. Yeah.
Boba Fett rehabilitation center.
And that's where I fear it might alienate. That there's the potential. Again, I don't believe they're trying to subvert expectations, but there's part of me that thinks they have the potential to alienate some Boba Fett fans, because he's not going to be what they wanted him or thought him to be.
He's going to be the anti-hero, pretty much.
Yeah. I think he's going to do stuff that maybe
He'll be a hero, but like on the edge.
Yeah, he's going to cross the line a couple times, probably. So should be good. I'm excited. Something new Star Wars always look forward to.
Yeah. We should not complain, should we? New Star Wars is new Star Wars. I'm still sharing that.
And
screen.
It's Boba Fett. I mean, how long have people wanted to see more, with Boba Fett? And it's Tamura, so you get that prequel hit, and you get old-fashioned OT trilogy with Tatooine scenes and Jabba's palace and all that stuff, and
it's going to be good.
Exactly, and this brings a lot of dimension to him, which is a good thing, because we've only ever seen him, we've only ever gotten glimpses of who he actually is. So I think this is going to be good, though.
Yeah.
To kind of see that.
Yeah, you say on screen. We don't apart from the bits in the Clone Wars as a child, and then the bits actually in the films. You don't really know that much about his motivation, anyway. So you could.
Yeah, it's like a minute and 20-second screen time or something. I forget what his screen time is. Very, very small. We do have a lot of knowledge of Boba Fett from him being a kid, so to speak, and thankfully Filoni's involved with all that. So he's going to have to, he's going to make sure that whatever they do squares or otherwise works for what we know of Boba Fett with Aura Singh and his motivations against the Jedi. Like Ryan said, blowing up his dad's helmet, trying to kill Jedi, being a thing, whatever. So hopefully they don't subvert any of that. They don't gloss over any of that. They don't counter any of that. That they, with Filoni be involved, that they're going to be aware of all of that and make anything they do or say work.
Yeah, exactly.
He basically interacted with everybody throughout his. I mean, even Ventress, he was teamed up with her, and what's his name, the Trandoshan guy.
Skier.
Yeah,
Boss.
Not Skier. Yeah, Boss. Not Skier.
He teamed up with.
Oh,
Ventress.
they're best friends, man.
Yeah, in the what do you call it, the Dark Disciple book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do a job on Clone Wars together? Ventress and Boba's crew, Aura Singh.
Or Boba and Aura. You thinking Aura?
It's Aura Singh, yeah.
Definitely
the
Aura.
Antenna.
Yeah, it's definitely Aura Singh, but I don't remember Boba and
yes, she does.
Ventress.
I remember because she double crosses him. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's in Clone Wars. Yeah, so he's been around. He knows it. I wonder if Rex is going to show up in the show since you have Tamura, anyways.
I know they've even got 7 episodes. I'm not sure it's going to turn into the Mando.
You don't think it's going to be like guest of the episode like Mando is? Guest star of the
week? Get that double paycheck.
It's like I'm playing 20 clones.
Wait, if Rex shows up, if Rex shows up, looks like his dad. Right?
He's
It's
gonna
not
have a
his
beard,
dad,
I
but it
guess.
just looks like him. But does he know what his dad looks like? He does. He was old enough to be
looks
self-aware to know what his
looks like
dad
him.
looks like.
He's a clone. He looks
Yeah,
like his
he was
dad
like he's
already.
9.
We've not really seen any sort of live action sort of multiple clone things, have we? Apart from the little bits in Attack of the Clones. I know we've seen little bits of it, but not. You haven't seen a lot of it, have we? In real action sort of stuff, the clones.
No.
So that'd be quite interesting, quite fun to
That was
see.
the time. Yeah, he's the perfect age to do it.
Yeah. I mean, this is probably one of the last opportunities. We were going to be morbid about it. You know, you don't get a huge amount of opportunities to do these kind of multiple personalities with the same actor, are you? So now's a good time. You're going to do it. You might as well do it now, I think.
Yeah, he was like not in anything for a while, and then he showed up in Aquaman, and now he's back in Star Wars. Like, I really like Tamora Morrison. When he got announced to be Jango Fett, I was super excited for episode 2, which is one of my favorite Star Wars movies. But I'm weird, so.
So is he in real life? Has he actually got hair now, or is he actually bald as well?
I don't know.
I would say I don't know. Isn't he bald in all his roles? Even in Aquaman, he's bald.
Is he bald in Aquaman? I can't remember.
I thought he wore like a hat or something. Or like
I think he's just shaved.
Oh, he had like that little beanie on or something. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Right. Okay. So should we wrap up the?
No, let's talk about his hat more.
No, we're moving on. We're moving on. Okay, so we'll probably next month we'll probably have to do a half Boba and a bit of half High Republic because all the High Republic stuff will be out come next month anyway. Next time, so
I'm gonna
fine with skipping the comics.
We're gonna have on-screen Star Wars to talk about, and you think we're gonna spend time on some way out there book? I'm not discounting Ryan. I'm not discounting what you guys do, your involvement or whatever. But I'm teasing and making fun a little bit about the.
We aren't fans, huh?
we are one. Remember,
we are one.
Hey, that legit. Don't even start doing it or singing again. But that legit was in my head for like the next couple of days.
Yeah, it's still in my head every day.
It definitely has a
It's an earworm.
It definitely is an earworm. Like we are the world. We're a small or it's a small world. Yeah. Definitely hit that mark.
If you live in the High Republic and like myself and Ryan and I think Ricky as well reading the comics and that kind of stuff, I can't now look at anything and not hear that song in my head. So it's just
Stephen. Can you pull up the video for Last Christmas by Wham for Marie?
No, please do not do that.
Oh my gosh!
Right, so we'll do a bit of a mixture of Star Wars at Christmas and Star Wars questions then for the last half hour and stuff. Does anybody want to put your hand up or whatever, stick out and talk about your favourite Star Wars Christmassy ornament or something?
I can go. One of my best Star Wars gifts I got for Christmas was my mom bought me, and this wasn't like when I was a kid. This was like when I was like 20 something. My mom got me my Force Effects Darth Vader lightsaber replica. It's one of the master replica ones, and I love that. I still have it. It's on my wall. It like mounts, and like it's so heavy. But it's getting worn down where like the rubber on the hilt is getting kind of kind of messed up there. But yeah, I was it's kind of a special year for Christmas that year because I was planning on proposing to my wife. So I mean I got the lightsaber and then I got down on the knee and then I did the ring. So it was a good Christmas that year. So I mean I always like getting Star Wars stuff on Christmas. But it was. So
you just actually, I'm just saying that lightsabers. Like almost every Senate, I get another question to think of about lightsabers, and I can't believe there's so many questions about lightsabers. But just thinking about the crystal and the kyber crystal inside, does that not run out of juice ever? If they sort of,
I don't think so.
It's not. No, it's not a battery. The battery is the battery. The kyber crystal is pretty much the blade.
So do you need it? Do they need an energy? Right, they need an energy source.
Yes,
they need the kyber crystal, don't they?
Because everything I've ever read about lightsabers seems to talk about like having a battery.
I'm just wondering if you use a lot of it, and
they just have a really good technology.
Yeah, how would that work? Because what if you're in the middle of fighting and it like, oh, I should have bought Duracell. Like, how does that work?
I'm just wondering.
Recharge it every night.
And then Rey's, and Luke's lightsaber was just sitting there in Maz's, antiquities and. Still worked.
I mean, yeah, you never get that many batteries, do you? You get
Well, it's it's just like the same thing as stormtroopers running out of ammo. I mean, nobody wants to see it.
Then what's the
it's in the Legends book.
It's not.
I mean, this is the kind of question that probably making Ron roll his eyes. I imagine in the background there. But this is the kind of question I would like to ask Ron. I mean, do you think the kyber crystal is a battery, or do they run out of juice? Do they ever run out of juice? What does Ron think?
Yeah, so right, the kyber crystal, is that the energy source? There's something to real world where people think crystals and rocks have an energy. You put this whatever in your room and it puts off this positive energy and all that. So right, does the crystal provide the energy, have the energy? Or is there some energy source inside the lightsaber that's like we real world think it flashes something through the crystal and is making the beam? I never given it any thought. I just know lightsabers work, and stormtroopers have plenty of ammo. The minutia of that aspect of it, they work. They just work.
It was supposedly was just like a renewable energy source project, according to Galen Urso. So he thought he was working on like energy for the galaxy.
So was the Death Star the first sort of net neutral, carbon neutral thing in Star Wars universe?
So if you needed something to power that kind of doesn't make any sense, because he was working with the crystals as the power.
You can still use coaxium.
It had something to drive around, because apparently it had engines and the ability to hit light speed, which I never squares with me.
Yeah, the Death Star. We're going to get into that conversation.
The mass of that thing getting to the speed of light and then slowing down.
I mean, they used the kyber crystals for the laser.
Yeah, they didn't use it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll come back to that another time, I suppose. I'm sure that will.
Can you make a gun with a kyber crystal? That'd be kind of cool. Shoots out little mini sabers.
I think you can.
Well,
doesn't Kanan have that?
Ezra did, but it was like a plasma gun on the bottom.
Okay.
Well, that's
I
interesting.
Heard about it, but I don't know anything about it.
What did the Death Star need a kyber crystal for in order to make a big giant laser blast? If the stormtroopers' guns are making laser blasts, if pistols and blasters at your side, kid, if they're able to make a laser blast to shoot, what's the whole kyber crystal for the Death Star thing needed?
It's something about focusing the energy, wasn't it? It's about focus.
For focus.
It was basically like a lightsaber getting turned off and on.
It makes it super hot, super dense. That's why it's stronger than a blaster.
And right. If you shot a big giant laser blast at a planet, it's not going to do anything. But if you have the kyber crystals that has the energy to do whatever it does for a lightsaber, and you focus that in some sort of shooting type of thing or whatever, that's how it destroys a planet. Because I often wondered why the planet, I mean, it was George and it was 77, 76, you had to do it, but why the planet instantly explodes. What is the catalyst that's making it instantly explode versus what do we see later in the sequel trilogy where it like sort of blows apart the planet? You see part of it that was the Starkiller base, so that was different technology, right? So that's why it sort of hits the planet and sort of takes part of it out, and then it explodes into pieces. It doesn't go completely.
It was a planet full of
like
kyber crystals, though. So, right? Because wasn't that supposed to be Ilum? So maybe that's what made it explode more.
Is that what we see? Or maybe I'm thinking of.
But the Death Star doesn't actually shoot anything out. It's like a ray, right?
Well, yeah. With the kyber crystal, is it a big giant lightsaber
basically
thing that's like visions that can extend into infinity?
Yeah. I did.
And then it just goes to Alderaan and. So, yeah,
and then they turn it off and it retracts.
So it literally blows up Alderaan in like a second, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never cared for that.
But yet, when they used it was it half power on Jeddah, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was one reactor.
There's definitely a line in there. Yeah, we just want to make a statement or whatever, not a manifesto or something like that. Yeah,
they used one reactor.
Yeah, just one reactor. So that answers our question. The kyber crystal is not the energy source. The reactor is. The reactor is what makes it have the power or the energy. The kyber crystal is necessary for some other reason. So then that extrapolates that lightsabers have their own power source, not the crystal.
That would suck though. You find Darth Maul and then your saber like go. Because your battery runs out.
They have a reactor in them.
I don't know if you guys read the Shatterpoint book. It's from Legends now, but Shatterpoint. One of the reasons I didn't like that book, it was all about Mace Windu, but he's probably not. I'm going to guess no. But the majority of that book is majority of the book is his lightsaber being dead. Like, it dies during battle, and he tries to reflect a bolt, and the bolt goes straight through his blade and strikes someone else and kills like a dignitary or something. And honestly, I hate that trope. I hate, oh, my powers are weakening, it's Spider-Man. I can't use my spider sense. It just annoys me. That's just a common thing. So it's one of the reasons I didn't like Shatterpoint, but it made it basically, it's Legends now, but they made it that like part of the story was his lightsaber died because it was art. It ended up someone else taking the charge away, killing it. But I mean, I'm sure maybe it's a shake light. They just have to shake it a bunch and it recharges.
Is the power
crank it?
Is the power source in the lightsaber essentially the Force? You're using the Force to channel the kyber crystal to create power and to harness it and that kind of stuff.
What do we learn in Visions? Well, I don't know how Visions can. Yeah, there was some tuning, or there was something to the, or that the color, or the strength of the blade. The color was tied to the person
and length.
But there was something to the strength of it that as you got better in using it, or there was the dad tells the girl something, or the builder of the lightsabers tells her something.
Well, yeah, because it was.
We know that the kyber crystal is just maybe gives us its power, gives us its strength, and there's a focusing crystal because you're able to adjust the length of any saber.
Yeah, there's a little knob.
Yeah, because sabers can be short like Yoda, or they can be long like a staff.
So you think so? Yeah. Yeah, so there might be like a Duracell battery in there as well, and that's just and the kyber crystal really.
Maybe they're solar powered.
There's absolutely a battery. Remember when we posted the Maul saber? There was batteries inside that.
Battery in there.
There's a power source.
I can't remember where I've seen a lightsaber schematic. It might have been in one of the behind the scenes books, but I think there's a battery. There's always like a battery in there.
I'm just trying to look out. Of course, because I Googled lightsaber and battery, of course you get all the toys, don't you?
Yeah, you're gonna get all the toys.
Yeah.
It's not what I
mean.
I'm
100% positive there's batteries in every saber. I'm 100% positive there's a battery source. And the crystal is more of a focusing. And remember, that's the strongest part of the Force because it ties in with the user and kind of decides its color and scale.
Anybody else get a lightsaber for Christmas ever?
Anybody else want to talk about Christmas, Star Wars?
My Christmas when I was a kid. So my mom was a bit of a tomboy and collected baseball cards. I think I've told the story, but anyway, had Mickey Mantle cards, all that sort of stuff or whatever. Somewhere when they move, she's a teenager, and then they get pitched out, and she had Mickey Mantle rookie cards and all that sort of stuff. Somewhere as I'm a kid, so 77 or 78. I'm guessing 78 because I don't remember if they had them. Or what they had that Christmas. I didn't think they had much, or maybe they did. But somewhere, 77 or 78, I got a full box of Star Wars cards, trading cards, the Blue Series Star Wars trading cards, a complete box of them with the wax pack and the candy gum and everything. And that was just the best. I thought I had because I ended up with multiple complete sets. Scads of doubles to trade with all my friends and everything because Star Wars would be a thing, and I thought I had the greatest collectible ever because not that I was equating them with baseball cards, but I was just like, well, these cards and these complete sets, these are going to be awesome. I don't know if I was thinking years down the line, but I just was thinking that they were collectible because I knew about this baseball card collectability or aspect, whatever. And it's I find it very ironic because here 40 some plus years later or whatever that they really don't command a lot. They mass produce those cards in such epic quantities, and everyone collected them and saved them or whatever, that they really don't have much collectible value to them other than my sentimental aspect of it. But I just remember that Christmas being so awesome because it was it had to be a salty penny for my parents at the time or whatever, but I just remember it being a complete full box of those cards of those packs being that was my best Star Wars Christmas.
So you get your collecting from your mom then, right? She started you on the path.
Kind of just to my wife's chagrin, my hoarding aspect of wanting to keep everything because I think it might have something to it later, kind of thing. Whatever. Yeah, that story of stuff getting tossed when they moved or something like that or whatever has always sort of sat with me. That is just like, oh no, you can't get rid of that. It might. It's like, all right, yeah, we got to get rid of this because we don't need it anymore. We haven't used it in forever. Those types of things. It's like, all right, yeah, we can. So yeah, she wasn't a collector per se or whatever, but that story of those things that are now collectible getting tossed unceremoniously, that was a part of her childhood or part of who she was. That definitely rings true with me, and I think helps to describe my collecting nature and holding on to things like I do. But yeah, that was an awesome Christmas. That was the best.
Were they like A New Hope cards, like so for?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They
had
it was that blue series. Would it go blue, yellow, green, red? I think, and then orange. But yeah, that blue series, 66 cards and checklist. I think Luke in Stormtrooper outfits, the first card, and yeah, they were a big deal. And I think I ended up with like 4, if I remember correct. I still have them. I got to go dig this out. I think I ended up like 4 complete sets and a third that was almost a complete, and scads of doubles, and could never forget the doubles to make that 4th set or something, or I did to make a 4th set. I don't remember now the particulars of it. But yeah, that was the other thing that I really appreciated about it. And to this era kids or whatever. Again, the movies came out, and you didn't see it again.
Yeah.
You didn't have the opportunity for the longest time unless you went to the theater. I don't think it came out on VHS for a long time. It showed up on TV at some point in time, like a CBS movie, if I'm recalling correctly.
Like
or no,
3 years later or something like that.
I think HBO might have been the first opportunity to record it off or something. So the cards were how you relive the story. The cards were pictures of the movie, from the movie. They weren't just headshots. They were actual scenes of the movie. And then some cards had some information, and then on the back of the cards was, if you pieced it all together, was a puzzle. I think of them in the cockpit of the Falcon, the group of them or something. But yeah, the cards, I just remember flipping through those because that's how you relive the movie. And then you got that storybook.
And if you had the record.
And then all those various things. Yeah, so I think that really helped to reinforce our love for it at the time, because you had to paint that picture in your mind. You had to remember how the movie went. I think I only ever saw it 3 times as a kid, original Star Wars, whatever. That was a big deal to see a movie 3 times. I remember thinking I was a big shot until I found out people like teenagers and people that had cars and the means. I've seen Star Wars 10 times. I've seen it 15 times. I was just, wow, that's how it.
Ron, did you get the mail away box when you were a kid? The figures?
No. Parents didn't know that. I don't know. I don't remember that being a thing. Figures wasn't so much a thing for me back then. I definitely had some, but it wasn't so much the toys and the figures as much. Yeah, it was about the cards and those collectible, that sort of ancillary stuff. But no, unfortunately, they did not do the mail away. I don't have a double telescoping Luke or Vader
or that Boba Fett. Oh wait, no, that wasn't in the first. That was in the.
Yeah, that was later. That was someone down the line. That was, you had to collect a number of figures to get and mail away for it. Yeah, it didn't do that either. But yeah, no, that was an awesome Christmas.
All right, who else? Who's
got it? Me. I remember when I was maybe 15 or 16, whenever that the VHS came out. That was 1990 or 91, and the first VHS set came out, and my aunt got that for me for Christmas, and it was so exciting because before then you had to either spend scads of money trying to get the VHS separately, or waiting for it to come up on HBO or something, or if like me, you didn't have cable, you didn't have that chance. But I had like the 3 movies, but recorded off of something, probably HBO or one of the movie channels, and I spent that Christmas vacation watching those movies over and over and over, and I actually still have those VHS tapes somewhere.
Was that the one that has the big like CBS logo on the side?
It is. It's the one that has like the big CBS Fox logo or something like that. Mm-hmm. I think they must have been affiliated at that point in time. But I remember really wanting it and thinking that my mom wasn't going to get that for me, but I know somebody came through in the clutch and they did get it for me. So there was that. Like I said, I still have them. When I moved They were in my garage. I have no idea where they are right now because they're probably in storage somewhere, but I still have them.
That's cool.
They were in a garage that was very hot for years and years and years. So if they work, it would be a miracle.
Oh, jeez.
Right. Any more Christmassy sort of stuff? Or do you want any dying questions you have to ask, and we can all help solve from the Star Wars universe, perhaps?
I have one. You said choose a silly one, so I got like a silly question.
I did choose a silly one. Yep, go for it.
So, all right. So my silly question is, if you turn on a lightsaber and kept it on, because I know the dead man switches, and then pointed it to the ground and let it go, would it go through the Earth completely? Would it go through the planet all the way down to the core, or would it stop at some point? Maybe get trapped in the middle forever. So I always wonder what happens if people drop their lightsabers and accidentally keep them on. Will they just keep melting into the planet?
Doesn't Robot Chicken answer that?
Wait, doesn't Qui-Gon use it on the door, though? Right? It goes through the door?
Yeah, but he's holding it and forcing it. He's saying that if you you'd have to drop it in just the right way or whatever, that pointing straight down, does that keep it going, or would the hilt, like, would the blade make a hole that's only an inch wide, but the hilt is an inch or 2 inches wide, so it would just stop there? You know what I mean?
Saying, like, it would just keep dropping down.
It wouldn't keep dropping down because the hilt would, the hole's not big enough, because the blade is only is an inch in diameter, and the hilt is obviously always bigger for everyone. So I think it's going to stop. If you pointed it perfectly straight down, it's going to stop right there.
Maybe that's the point of the ribs on Anakin's on his lightsaber. He's got the big grip on the bottom. I never thought of that. That's a good one.
If you have a crossaber too, like, it's not going to go.
I'm not 100% sure on that one, to be fair. I think all the times that they well, no, maybe not. I mean, you think of the times they punch holes in the doors and stuff, and that initial hole is much bigger than the width of the blade. I think.
Well, but they cut. They use it like a saw blade and cut a hole in the door. Now, to what you're trying to maybe say is when Qui-Gon buries it into the thing, it sort of heats the metal up, where he's at, but then gravity is what's making that hole bigger.
And he was pushing it really hard too.
He was pushing it, focusing it, you could say.
It probably does stop it though, because Yoda throws that one in that dude's chest, and then it stops. It doesn't go all the way through.
Ah, yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Right, stops. I hate that he throws it, but yeah, it stops because of the hilt, right? It has to be stops because of the hilt.
Did it stop with the hilt? It didn't, did it?
That'd be a good reason to have like a samurai sword round hilt on it. So it's like, in case I do drop it, it doesn't bury into the planet, and then you just kind of whistle and walk away. Like, oh, my bad.
Oops.
The battery
went out. Stephen asked you a good question. When he throws that, is it wong? Is it sticking out a little bit? Is it just the tip of it that goes in, or does it bury itself to the scenario that I was describing earlier? Does it go the whole way in and stops at the dude's armor plate because the hilt is what doesn't let it go any further?
Personally, I say he stops it at that point. Again, that's just my opinion.
Oh, you think Yoda threw it and pauses its path?
I'm just looking at some screenshots here. Oh my gosh!
He jumps on his chest and pulls it out of him. Doesn't he?
He does. It's in from the images.
And in Clone Wars, Anakin comes up behind somebody and totally impales them with one. So by turning it on, and it shoots out the front. So what's to make it stop from going all the way through his body?
I guess if he wanted to, he could. You just punch it through.
I'm sure Savage does that at some point. Totally makes it go through. So yeah, that's a good question. What about those helicopter sabers? Would that do it?
Those are totally believable because it heats the air as it spins, and they all rise up
like a hot air balloon.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
I found it really funny, Ron. I found it really funny how you're like, I'm not really worried about guns reloading and what powers lightsabers, but I am worried about why you fly with them.
How it has lift. Yeah. Hey, the resources are for whatever that can be explained away. How it has lift by spinning in a rotational manner. Yeah, no, come on.
He used the Force.
Oh, so it was just
It gave him
window
just enough
dressing.
energy. Yeah.
Okay, just window dressing that they force jumped to do that, but they were having some window dressing to try to intimidate their foe by making it spin like a helicopter blade.
Well, you can think of it. You don't want to hit a bird or anything when you're flying around, so you spin the lightsaber. It'll kill any birds or branches or anything above.
Or telephone poles or something.
Imagine it's like riding a motorcycle and you hit a bug. Well, if you put a spinning lightsaber on the front,
Like, oh no, a flock
you
of
ain't gonna hit
ducks.
no bugs, man.
You would have bugs in your teeth, like from flying around, and your saber. Oh my
I haven't. I just had a quick look on YouTube at that scene with Yoda throwing the lightsaber, and I'd say it's inconclusive because where it hits the clone in the chest, you can see some green glow on this side by the hilt, but that might be green glow in the body, or it.
So there's some saber still. There's like an inch of saber still sticking out of his chest.
Yeah, it could either be that, or it could just be that the green glow we're seeing next to the hilt is just within the body. It's hard to tell. I would suggest everybody getting their old D+ or DVD out, Blu-ray even, and have a look. It's inconclusive, but it looks like. But certainly, you would say that unless he threw it precisely, that it must have. Yeah,
that's not.
I mean, because if you think if he throws it at him, it won't stick in his chest anyway. It'll slowly slide down and cut him in half.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
It won't.
So that's why you're saying he's got control over it. Because, right, if you stuck it in him, gravity's going to want to make it go.
Yeah, it'll just slice through him. Also, I mean, it doesn't make the boing sound when it's. But yeah, if he wasn't holding it in place, it would just fall through him and cut his lower half. You know,
so you couldn't stick it on somebody and then jump on the hilt. It would just and then bounce off.
That was a big talk in the High Republic
like
comics. It was like, oh boy. So, but yeah, it seems like it would fall. So that's my belief behind why Yoda has complete control.
Steven, you're watching the scene. How long is it stuck in there? You know, does it get an opportunity to?
Not even a second, I wouldn't say.
So does he throw it and pull it back?
He throws it, then he just jump. Next bit is him jumping on it to retrieve it. So it's a second if at all. It's there. And it's pretty stuck, I have to say. But then in a second, it's pretty hard to say whether it would slide down or not. But it could.
So there's not an opportunity for it to slide because he retrieves it right quick. And the trooper's not standing up the whole time, right? Or does he fall over, or does Yoda jump on him and knock him over?
So I'm looking to look at it again now.
He kicks him over, I believe. Like he kicks off his chest,
jumps off of him.
That's kind of what I thought.
The sabers go through people in far less than a second with no force whatsoever. I mean, think of all the times we've seen someone ignite a saber with it in their face or whatever. You know, it just happens in the Light of Jedi. He ignites the saber, Kylo does, and it immediately goes through the guy's head behind him. It doesn't slowly push through. It's immediate. So the same thing would apply to throwing the saber. It would just stick into him and immediately start falling down. Like whether it's a second, it takes far less than a second to lap through somebody.
Well, is there something too, though? Puncturing is a quick process, but cutting, slicing, although would take some effort.
Temperature. It's the same temperature all the way around.
Well, okay, there's a temperature piece, but is there something to the physical force action of a puncture is a quick sort of thing, like you're saying, you stick it through somebody and it goes right through. But a cutting takes a little bit of you got to make the effort to slice through Obi-Wan.
Point them at the ground. We've seen them point them at the ground and then spin and make a circle and fall through. Right? They did that on.
Through a ship's hull. They'll stick it into the hull and spin around real quick and pop right through. So it is a quick puncture and a quick cut. All right, so Yoda's controlling it.
Yeah, I think there's a degree of control, but a degree of force use perhaps in that.
He didn't want to make it too horribly bloody, so just slice him from chest to groin. He's just
and that might help me square him throwing because it just never really was keen on him throwing away, but he didn't. He had control over it the whole time. While it wasn't in his hand,
he used it like a dagger.
He force controlled it to take that guy out and grab control of it real quick and get it back. That he did have control over less.
His saber is shorter, so than the other.
It wasn't. It wasn't where he threw it and totally lost control of it, because if he did, it should have fallen down through the guy or otherwise sliced him up. So yeah, it was under his force control the whole time, Ryan.
Yeah, like an arrow. Whoop, whoop, like straight in. And he's flashy. I mean, Yoda's flashy. Let's be obvious here. He's all about show.
Bouncing around, whirling dervish as he's fighting Dooku.
Yep, he's all flipping show. He would wear gold robes like Snoke if it was up to him, I'd say.
I'm still fascinated that there was a point where we didn't know how Yoda fought. Now it's just like it's common, but like for so long, like he didn't fight. You didn't even see his lightsaber, and now it's like everybody.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, people don't talk about that reveal. That reveal of Yoda.
Oh, that was so huge.
That doesn't get much love, or just doesn't get a whole lot of talk about that. That was kind of a big deal.
That was a big cheer moment in the theater when that happened. Like everyone was just like losing their minds.
It was not expected thing or whatever, but I think there was some spoiler-ish aspect to it or something. Now I'm trying to remember my watching of that, but something makes me think of, wait, we haven't seen, I think I'm watching the movie and I'm like, wait, we haven't seen Yoda. I thought I heard we were going to see Yoda fight. And that Dooku scene's sort of over, and then all of a sudden he's coming in and says, not yet. And
no, Ron, I don't think there was ever any expectation for that, because I remember my cousin worked at a movie theater at the time, and he got to see it like at 7:00 the day when it was going to come out, because they previewed it, I guess, for the workers there. And he texted me and spoiled it for me and said, Yoda fights, exclamation marks and stuff.
So the expectation, I think, Ricky, when I say that, was that we were, it was a hopeful expectation that we were hoping we were going to see Yoda fight. But yeah, I don't think that was ever flashed in any of the trailers or any of the, I don't think there was anything that ever alluded to that we were going to see that, but we were hoping that we would see something like that. And when it didn't happen for the longest time, and that scene's over and everything, and you're just like, wait. When he comes in, you're like, oh, I do remember having that sensation or that feeling of, oh, this is where we're going to see Yoda fight. And his force attraction of that lightsaber was just the best move ever.
And we didn't see Mace Windu's lightsaber until he draws it on Jango Fett, and it was purple. That was the first time, because they didn't do anything in the first movie.
Oh, was it in the attack?
Yeah, that was the first time he takes it out. You're like, whoa, it's purple. Yeah. That's why I like episode 2 so much. There's like a lot of cool stuff in there.
Yeah,
it just kind of gets lost.
It has stuff that I'm like about, but I mean that the battles also. I will always say the prequels do fantastic on lightsaber battles. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, that's one good thing in their favor.
Oh, dang.
But that also speaks to the why you should watch them in release order, the OT, then the pre-T, because you get a sense of awe in the OT of what the Jedi might be or could be or should be or can do or anything. You don't see much of anything.
No.
So you build it up in your mind as what they could, and then it's revealed to you in the sequel trilogy, and it's reinforced. If you watch the sequel trilogy, man, the first thing you do is see them force speed out of there and use their lightsabers. So there's no opportunity for what's it mean to be a Jedi, to question that and to have that sort of ability. It's just presented to you right there in front of you as to Jedi are these super all powerful kind of have all these great abilities. So that to me is always a great.
It's too much of a shock to watch it in sequential order. It's too much of a shock.
But even if you watch like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, there's still not very many lightsabers in there. Like you don't see like a whole army of Jedi and
well,
stuff.
Yeah, there's not many Jedi. There's not many people left to be using them. That was the point of it.
Yeah.
So watching the prequels, you have like all these.
All right, so I know we're trying to wrap, Stephen, and I'm sorry, but it will be a question for some time or whatever. It's my silly question, but it's not silly. Where the heck are all the lightsabers? Where are all these hilts? Well, every time somebody loses or dies or perishes or whatever, there's a lightsaber somewhere that never gets dealt with, that never gets explained, that never gets. And I've brought this up many times before or whatever. But yeah, every time a lightsaber or somebody with one is like, where's that one at now? Who's got that? Where are all these hilts? Where are they?
I'm sure
where
most
are they?
of them. Most of them were probably just picked up, but absolutely, you're talking thousands. So I'm sure some of them appeared, in a kid's hand. Some of them appeared like relics that are hidden. So yeah, that would be something neat. Where down the line, it's like, oh, I have so and so's because no one's going to go find, let's say, Plo Koon's lightsaber. It's going to be smashed in a chip, and just some local on the planet could pick it up and be like, to be continued. Done. Yeah,
and then that speaks
Most
to
of them
the
were
but
kind of destroyed.
Han blows it up in terms of the, if there was something to a lightsaber can't be turned on unless you're a Jedi or know how to, then that would let some random find the relic in Plo Koon's busted ship but not be able to do anything with it. But Han using it on the Tauntaun lets us say that anybody can turn one on. So
and then Clone
there
Wars,
should be
they
a
had
lot
people
of them
trying to
out
buy
there.
them on the black market in Clone Wars. Remember they took Ahsoka's and she had to try to get it back.
Yeah, I
because
did watch that.
They were
Yep.
sought after, weapons. They were just really rare to find one. Or hard to get.
Although they should be crazy heavy, right? When there's something too, if you're not trained in how to use it, you're not going to be running around trying to use it because it should be super broadsword.
Yeah, it's like having a broadsword.
If you don't know how to.
Yeah, it's just too dangerous. You just have to tap your leg to cut it off. That's the thing. It's anyone can use it. I was never a fan of like
shoot your eye out.
Why is Finn using it, or why is I was like they're trained weapon. They trained with weapons. They just have to not hit themselves.
Well, so then how about this? Would Joe Commoner know how to? Somewhere I learned somewhat recently, but they have, like when they're doing their training or whatever, they have a mode where you can put them in, sparring mode, so they don't cut anybody. If you do get it, if your Padawan does get a lucky shot in on its master, it doesn't take his arm off. Would a commoner pick one of those up? Would they know how to put it in that mode so that they don't wield it or mess with it because it is crazy dangerous because they could easily cut their own leg off? There'd have to be some, like you say, some training to it to know how to put it in sparring mode. To even know sparring mode exists.
There was a story that I recently read, and I want to say High Republic, that they use sparring sabers. But then in Dooku Jedi Lost, when they take their initiative test to be knights, they do it with fully powered sabers. So I thought that was kind of weird that they use. I mean, I get it, you're supposed to be a Jedi, but I think it was in High Republic, because that's the thing I'm reading the most, is that they definitely had sparring mode sabers. So they can die. Oh man, I almost had it. Yeah, there was definitely 2 Padawans fighting. It might have been Vernesta Rowe and another one, and like Emery fighting, and they had them on stun mode, or they were using stun specific sabers. They still lit like sabers, but they were way powered down.
Well, her other lightsaber is a whip. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go folks. So I think we will call it a day. And thank everybody for joining us. And don't forget, if you're here listening on the podcast, which of course you will be, we come out every month, and we will be back in a month's time in 2022, where next month we shall, I imagine we might be talking about the Book of Boba Fett. I imagine so. I mean, Ron has his doubts, but I think we'll be talking about it next month for sure. And we would have seen, well, depending on when we talk, we might have seen 1 episode or 2 episodes. We'll talk about that again. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, and we shall see you in a month.
All right, cheers, everyone. Merry Christmas.
We are one, we are many. Happy holidays.
Hey. Happy Christmas, happy holidays,
happy Life Day.
Happy Life Day.
Go switch off.
I am the Senate.
The Force will be with you, always.
Say, may the force be with you.
Hello. Yeah, we can't understand a word you're saying, Ricky. Sorry, it's terrible.
Right, he's Ricky Bot 3000, and is he very, very faint for you, Stephen?
It's faint. It's like a bird, far away, making a noise. A rattle. A baby rattle. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, you need another mic or something, Ricky, because it can't understand a word you're saying. It's just static-y, kind of funny kind of stuff.
Ricky, say this is the way. Right, Stephen, quiet. I'm trying to get something he can isolate. Say this is the way. All right, there might be something there you can use. It's awfully faint or whatever. Hey, when it happened to me, I thought it was the USB cord I was using, which was weird because I really don't think it was the USB cord. But when I swapped that out, that solved my Ronbot 3000 issues. So I might try a different cord if it's not hardwired, and it might be enough just to reseat it removing the USB device from the computer and bringing it back in is what made it happen. But I know that time you guys were talking to me about it or whatever, I ended up swapping the cord because I have the cord around here somewhere, and I put a sticky on it that it was the Ronbot 3000 cord in case I ever wanted to do that again. And I wanted to test it and try it and see if that's what it was. So yeah, try that, Ricky, or otherwise you got to unjoin and join or figure out a microphone issue.
Reboot.
Or a good old-fashioned reboot.
Old-fashioned reboot, yeah.
Good old-fashioned computer guy solves every problem.
That's one reason why I always try to say people to arrive 10 minutes early, because there's always some sort of technical issue. Oh, that's better.
You're in a can, but yeah, that's definitely not Ricky Bot 3000. Rickbot.
I'm in a different room, but
yeah, you're definitely in a different room.
You sound like you're in the basement now, but we can hear you.
And then I saw Ryan join, right?
I'm here.
Hi, Ryan. Good morning.
Hey. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh,
being selfish there. I think it's good afternoon to you, right, Stephen?
It is.
Yep. And then it's crazy early good morning for Ricky. And wait, I think it's even crazier early. Ryan, where are you?
Yeah,
Washington?
they're earlier than I am.
Yeah, so it's
no. I'm in the Eastern, so it's 10 o'clock here.
Oh, you're with me then. Okay.
4 years before me.
Ryan and Ron, comrades in arms.
Does this sound better? Or
yeah, that's Ricky. That's the Ricky we know.
Does it sound better?
Yep.
Okay, I think my webcam was interfering with my mic, so I had to unplug it.
I had that when I used the Bluetooth headphones. So I stopped using them for this because for some reason the Bluetooth headphones interfered with the mic on the laptop. So
does Ryan know the Ronbot 3000? Why we're giving Ricky a hard time?
I don't think so. I don't even know.
We ever explained it.
Yeah, in a very early or somewhere early on, I was having technical difficulties or something, whatever, and anything I said came across really just garbled, crazy, computerized, and the guys made fun of it and called me Ronbot 3000 whenever I was talking. I didn't know it because I'm just talking away. And so here this morning, Ricky was his was exhibiting that behavior where when he would talk, it would just sound a little weird, computerized-y kind of voice or whatever. So.
I always kind of wondered what was behind that. That's good.
Yeah,
it's actually in the intro music now.
Yeah, so somewhere Ricky. That's why I was trying to isolate something for Ricky. Somewhere he isolated some Ronbot 3000 stuff, and it's part of the intro.
We've not got a Ronbot GIF. One big Ronbot soundbite.
Yeah,
we should have one, shouldn't we?
I do, but I don't know how to put them in right while we're recording. I'm not that sophisticated.
We need really is a soundbite, yeah. Oh yeah.
She had a lot of problems.
Hello and good morning, Marie.
I'm here.
Hello. Do we want to do a Christmassy Star Wars sort of thing? Do we want to do some Christmassy Star Wars stuff?
I was gonna.
Want to talk about some of your Christmassy Star Wars stuff that you've got?
Christmas memories or something.
Christmas. Well, there won't be very much for me because I can't remember yesterday, let alone any Christmases that we've had. We could have a little. If anybody's got any, talk about your favourite Star Wars Christmassy. You've got a ton of stuff, haven't you, Ricky? I haven't got anything. I still need to buy something. I want to buy something. I've got to try and sort out the family Christmas stuff first before I go frivolous on Star Wars Christmas. I did say about having a little bit on your unanswered Star Wars questions and stuff, Q&A with each other. We could try. If anybody's come up with any other questions apart from me, it's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be serious. Like I don't know why did what the technical specs of an X-wing or something like that. Nothing too serious. Just like
or just like what do you get a Wookiee for Christmas when he already owns a comb?
Yeah. Or probably something like, why wear a glove over an artificial hand? You can't get cold. So that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Naked.
Yeah, let your hand go free. So I did have a few questions. I can't think where I put them. The problem is I can't see where I put them, but I'm sure I remember something. Yeah, so we can do.
I got a cut. I just got like two silly ones. Well, I guess one silly one too. So
that's all right.
I just tried to think of something completely ridiculous and random, and then I got one that I actually got into a tiff with this morning on another group, and I'm like, oh boy, I may have stirred a little pot. So.
Uh-oh.
As usual.
Turf wars.
Hey, we can talk about
as usual. It's correct.
Brian, we can go over some Clone Wars.
Yeah. So one sort of frivolous, ridiculous question. Answer each. But there's a bit of fun there at the end. I think something like that, roughly. Okay. So is everybody seated and ready to go?
Yeah, more or less.
My seat back is in an upright position, and my tray is folded. Yes, ready to go.